we'll go ahead. Okay. What I wanted to talk about tonight is impatience and loving kindness, or unconditional friendliness. In countless ways these days, we are being asked to be vigilant at a much higher level than we usually are. When we practice vigilance, when we are encouraged throughout the day to be on high alert, anticipating danger, ready to push danger away, vigilance quickly becomes a habit. That's how the body works. It habituates what we practice, particularly when that practice produces strong reactions in the body. When we practice vigilance, we discover that we may be on high alert much of the time, even when not at all necessary, even when we are safely sheltering in place and doing ordinary tasks. Vigilance has its usefulness. This is why we have the capacity. But we need to be careful to use our capacity for vigilance only when we truly need it. Otherwise, we exhaust our adrenal glands and leave ourselves in a state of distress. Habituating vigilance is not beneficial. If we are habituating vigilance, then when we are doing an ordinary task, we may find ourselves restless and impatient, wanting to get through the task as quickly as possible, tying our shoes, cleaning the house, cooking a meal, so that we can get back to being wary. Vigilance is the enemy of patience and calm. The other night I was cooking spaghetti sauce, and I noticed myself being impatient in the process. Rather than staying in the moment, enjoying the simple task of sauteing onions, I was agitated and found myself wanting to check my computer for stories about the virus. It took a conscious intention to be with the impatience, explore it, and then bring myself back to the present moment and let myself relax into the process of cooking. Impatience and restlessness can be a great place to notice ourselves getting caught up in our distress, and instead to choose to practice cultivating the soft spot in our hearts. According to Pema Chodron, in the Shambhala tradition, there is a saying, place your fear in the cradle of loving kindness. Place your fear in the cradle of loving kindness. We can do the same thing with our impatience. We can practice noticing our impatience, our restlessness, and placing our impatience in the cradle of loving kindness. What we are willing to meet and hold with gentle, loving, kind curiosity, we can move through and learn from. Loving kindness provides the container to meet and be curious about whatever is present for us right now. When we cultivate loving kindness, Maitri as it's known in some traditions, we are opening a connection to our own true nature, to the soft spot in our hearts, to our capacity to be awake. Our hearts are a doorway, and they are always present. Our hearts may feel covered over by our distress, but they are right here. We can intentionally practice find your way home to our true nature through them. Even the slightest cultivation of loving kindness, of the wish for the happiness of all beings, including ourselves, will open a way. Sharon Salzberg, longtime teacher of loving kindness, says, we can travel a long way and do many things, but our deepest happiness is not born from accumulating new experiences. It is born from letting go of what is unnecessary and knowing ourselves always to be at home. We're going to do a practice to cultivate loving kindness. So before we start, I'd like to ask us to take a few moments to bring to mind some being for whom we are grateful and love. A person, an animal, someone who is living or no longer living, a being for whom we have gratitude and love, a deep friendliness. So let's just take a few moments to allow ourselves to bring that being to mind. Whomever you like, pick one. Now we will do a loving kindness practice. First, remember to relax. Invite ourselves to relax right where we are. Being relaxed helps us feel into this soft spot in our hearts. Taking a few moments as we invite ourselves to relax, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting go into the exhale. Bringing our attention to how we are sitting or lying down. Sitting gently upright or lying down in whatever position is comfortable. Adjusting our position as and whenever needed, giving ourselves permission to move as and when needed. Balanced and held, supported, resting upon whatever is holding us. Again, noticing the area around the heart, allowing that area to be open, inviting spaciousness into the heart. Now a few deep breaths, allowing the belly to soften, allowing it to fill, resting our attention on the out breath, letting go gently. Now settling into whatever breathing rhythm is comfortable for you. Breathing in, breathing out. Noticing our connection with the space around us and the way we are held and supported within it. Gently. Feeling ourselves held. Now allowing our minds and hearts to fill with the image, memory, the thoughts of this being, a person, an animal, for whom we have significant gratitude and love. Alive or not alive in this moment. letting our hearts fill with the image of this being. Holding in our hearts this being who brings such a deep feeling of love and gratitude and friendliness. Taking our time, opening our hearts, letting ourselves know these feelings of gratitude and love and friendliness. Noticing the sensations of these feelings. Now saying to this being, may you be happy. May you have deep and abiding happiness. May you be happy and have the causes of happiness. Saying this as many times as you like. May you be happy. May you have deep and abiding happiness. May you be happy and have the causes of happiness. Feeling our heart's wish for the well-being of this being we love. May you be happy. May you have deep and abiding happiness. May you be happy. May you have deep and abiding happiness. May you be happy and have the causes of happiness. Now allowing yourself to be included, holding both of you in your heart together, both this being whom you love and for whom you are grateful, and yourself, knowing that this being would wish for your happiness too, feeling that wish. Saying to yourself, may we both be happy. May we both have deep and abiding happiness. May we both have the causes of happiness. Feeling this being's wish for us as we feel our wish for them. Now saying goodbye to this being and holding ourselves in our own hearts. Keeping ourselves right there in our hearts. Saying, may I be happy. May I have deep and abiding happiness. May I be happy and have the causes of happiness. Holding ourselves in our own hearts and wishing for our own well-being. Directing that wish for deep happiness towards ourselves, that unconditional friendliness. May I be happy. May I have deep and abiding happiness. May I have the causes of happiness. Now expanding this wish to all of us in this Sangha, all the members. May all of us be happy. May all of us have deep and abiding happiness. May each one of us be happy and have the causes of happiness. Holding the whole Sangha in our hearts. And now in this atmosphere of loving kindness, of unconditional friendliness, we bring the attention back once again to our own breathing. Noticing the sensations of breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, welcoming the breath with unconditional friendliness, feeling ourselves breathe. And as we bring this to a close, extending this benefit to all beings, may all beings be happy and have the causes of happiness. This is a practice that cultivates unconditional friendliness, that builds that cradle of loving kindness. It is traditionally started with oneself and then expanded to include people in various categories. Since we in the West are often not comfortable starting with ourselves, the practice is also done by starting with someone for whom we have genuine feelings of love and gratitude. The invitation is to use this practice for ourselves, gently with warmth and compassion, to help ourselves build this cradle of loving kindness. When we take impatience and restlessness, or whatever we are feeling, as an invitation to be with our experience and place that experience in the cradle of loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, so we can be with it. Then, as Tara Brach says, we learn to trust the heart's ability to awaken in all circumstances. Now I'd like us to do a practice that allows us the experience of what it might be like to invite ourselves to put our tension, impatience, restlessness in that cradle of loving kindness we just cultivated. Remembering that feeling of loving kindness we just cultivated, we are going to do a very simple check-in with the body. I know that for some of us, the body can be uncomfortable, particularly if we focus on intense sensation. In this check-in, we are not looking for intense sensation. We are looking for very simple signs of impatience, restlessness, or tension. Very simple. We do this very gently. Our attention is light as a feather. No hurry. Easy and light. Again, bringing our attention to how we are sitting or lying down. Whatever position is comfortable. Adjusting our position as and whenever needed. Balanced, held, supported. Directing our attention to the area around our hearts. Allowing our bodies to have this area open and relaxed. Taking a few deep breaths. Gently feeling the body with air. And resting in whatever breathing pattern is comfortable. The attention resting gently on the sensations of breathing. The feel of the air moving in and out. Resting. Now gently bring the attention to the face and the head. Going slowly. Remember the touch of the attention, though steady and focused, is as light as a feather. Delicately noticing sensation. Noticing if there's any tension, perhaps in the jaw, or the muscles around the eyes, or the forehead. Noticing these muscles, remembering to invite yourself to relax as you do this. No hurry, just a gentle curiosity about what is true right now. Just noticing. Whatever you notice, however slight. Bring those feelings of love and gratitude we just practiced to what you notice. Allowing yourself to gently wrap what you notice in unconditional friendliness. Whatever sensations you are experiencing, wrapped in loving kindness. Taking your time. Nothing to do but rest in the cradle of loving kindness. And if it fits for you, allowing the attention to notice other parts of the body. Just looking for tension or restlessness. Inviting ourselves to relax, gently, gently, wrapping whatever we find in loving kindness and unconditional friendliness. Holding ourselves with care. Placing whatever we find in that cradle of loving kindness, gently, with love and ease. As we bring this to a close, thanking and acknowledging all the beings we love, saying, may you be happy. May you have deep and abiding happiness. May you be happy and have the causes of happiness. Allowing ourselves to notice and feel the feelings of love and gratitude and friendliness. Now adding ourselves. May I be happy. May I have deep and abiding happiness. May I be happy and have the causes of happiness. Now including all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings have deep and abiding happiness. May all beings be happy and have the causes of happiness. Taking a moment to gently bring our attention back into the space of the Sangha. Habituated vigilance can keep us from our practice. We may be too restless and agitated to find it easy to sit. Instead of shying away from practice when we feel restless and impatient, let's ask ourselves if it is possible to use the impatience as an invitation. Is it possible to notice and be with our impatience? Can we use it to intentionally feel into the soft spot in our hearts? Right now, with all the suffering we see around us, it is particularly important to remember and to nurture that soft spot in our hearts. It's all too easy to allow ourselves to be overcome by our distress. As we go about our days, reminding ourselves to slow down, relax, become curious, and notice sensations. What is our experience? Then take a couple of slow, deep breaths and remember to hold ourselves and our impatience or whatever we're feeling in that cradle of loving kindness. A few minutes here and there, several times a day, will develop our capacity. It's vital that we be gentle with ourselves. We can do this when sitting in our practice, and we can do it while the spaghetti sauce is simmering, or in between pulls on our shoelaces. The opportunity to stop and notice this present moment and wrap whatever we notice in unconditional friendliness is always available. And now we will open this up to check-in and conversation and response to the practice talk or whatever it is that's on your minds.